Hey, hey. So today I would like to invite you to introduce yourself at whatever level you want to share. You can do video, you can do a picture with a little bio. You don't have to do a picture. I'm going to let you be your funky artist self on this one. And then I'm going to share a little bit about me and my story and how I got to be here. So obviously, you know, I'm Jill Demers, nutrition therapy practitioner. I'm also a regenerative farmer, mom of 3 boys, and my doggy Timber. Oh, you can't see him. He's by my feet. I have 2 other doggies and 7 goats out at our farm. Our dogs are our livestock guardians and they live with the goats. I changed my career trajectory primarily when my son Alder was diagnosed with autism when he was 3. So I began a deep dive investigating nutrition and health. I had already been studying food at that point for over a decade. I studied it in graduate school, but my primary focus in graduate school was on the ecological, economics, and social impacts of the Dust Bowl. I know that probably doesn't sound super exciting to you, but I think it's extremely fascinating because that was the single largest environmental tragedy provoked by humans, literally in human history. And ironically, it was on land that was some of the most fertile in the world. And that was in large part because of the role that migratory indigenous populations and other predators, how they push the massive bison in cycles all through the Great Plains and into Canada. And that rotational movement and grazing prevented the bison from beating up the land too much, but turning it over and fertilizing it. And the reason I tell you this is because that is what we mimic at our farm. It's a regenerative farm, so we are restoring the ecological integrity and the surrounding ecosystem by mimicking patterns in nature, one of which I just described to you. But that's why I was so interested in the Dust Bowl as well, because it was such a fertile place for millennia, and then we destroyed it as humans in like a decade through industrial agriculture. So I looked at a portion of that very deeply in graduate school, and then when I had a sick child, it kind of did the full circle for me because it closed the loop with the missing component being human health. I was looking at planetary health and economic health and social health, but I wasn't looking at like public health, like the health of the body. So he kind of forced my deep dive, especially after working with him deeply for 5 years with wonderful practitioners all over the country. He lost his autism diagnosis, and I made the decision to say, I want to do that for other people. Not necessarily just with autism in particular, because that's a hard population for me to work with because the wounds, like I'm still kind of licking those wounds a little bit. You know, if you're a mom, then you understand what I mean. Like having a sick child is one of the most terrifying things that you could imagine. And so I'm not opposed to helping the autism world. It's just I use those same philosophies to apply to other chronic inflammatory, neurodegenerative, or other health conditions. And it seems to work because the basic tenet of a nutrition therapy practitioner, what we do is we help people cultivate health. We don't prescribe or diagnose or anything like that. So that's kind of how I ended up doing this. I used to be a professor at the University of Montana, so I love teaching, and I love teaching in groups that are relatively small and tight and connected, seminar style. That's what I did. That's what I continue to do. So things I love to be active. I love to run in the mountains. I really require a significant amount of outside time and light on my body. I feel like in the winter, I definitely am somebody who has to pay attention to the amount of outside time I get and potentially substitute or supplement with vitamin D. I love spending time with my family. I love being at my farm. It really brings joy and meaning into my life. I love the people in my life, including you. So thanks for being here and letting me get to do what I do and be who I be. So thanks. I'd love to learn more about you.